And welcome back, everyone, on the Decoders channel. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to the marathon, the Minsk Marathon number 7. And tonight we have like a great guest, Toms from Rome. How are you doing, buddy?
Very nice to meet you, Vincent. Very excited for this space.
Nice to meet you. Yes, like I would say, yeah, I was almost saying like, yeah, we know each other since forever, but that's actually not the case. We got introduced by a common friend, Flaze, which I talk about about Rome in the X Plus Discord, and then I had the chance to talk to you, Toms, and like it's a real pleasure to know you now, and welcome to the channel.
Same. It's an incredible pleasure to be here and with your community as well. You guys seem to be doing a great thing, especially with this kind of multiple series. I've listened to a couple of previous ones, and it's really fun. So glad to be here. Yeah. And thanks for having me up.
My pleasure. And sorry for kicking you off from the Twitter space, but
hey, you perma-banned me from my Twitter space.
But the sound is going from my mic anyway, so you don't need to be here. Like, your PFP doesn't need to be here. It is what it is, whatever. Yeah, hi everyone from the chat. At least we are both on YouTube, and that's what matters the most. Happy to see like the whole Decoders community and Rome community. So yeah, if you are in the Rome community, just tell me in the chat if you're coming from Rome. That would be cool. Because yeah, I want to know everything about Rome, and bro, I'm sure like you have already some couple of like tired members, right? Like that would believe in your project.
We've been we're kind of in the trenches, guys, where we're basically digging tunnels for a very long time, and then when we reappear, we have a lot of surprises. So we've just kind of started digging the way up into the sun. And so I hope there's some, but we're very early in terms of marketing. That will change soon. Yeah. But we've got a lot of tunnels dug. We're very ready.
Yeah, that's like because it's like you launched in September, like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we started our socials basically 2 weeks ago. We are gearing up for our early access launch late this year. So yeah, that's incredibly exciting.
Okay, so before I ask you what is Rome, like tell me more about you, bro, because I want to know everything about your Web3 journey. So yeah, when did you start it, and like how did you meet Flaze, and tell me everything.
Yeah, so about my Web3 journey. So as many of I guess the Web3 early joiners, I was actively trading a lot of crypto, was actively just trading stocks before, and I was very kind of involved in the space. And when I understood that you could actually tokenize assets, I got really interested in this. Previously, I was like trading stuff and not being public, just like lurking in the back trading tokens and so on. But the fact that you could now have more value to the blockchain just made me really interested. So basically, early 2021, I basically reached out to a couple of friends who were in the space, asked them what they were up to, and ended up joining a couple of teams on a sort of a kind of a background, non-public roles, just helping the things happen. Because like my background before the Web3 is basically in deep sport event management operations, basically hiring people, training people, managing people all across Europe. So that really came in handy because most of the Web3 founders, they were quite young. They all have great ideas, but obviously there's also a need for great execution. So I helped out a couple of them basically on the operations side of things. And in the background, I was always thinking of, okay, we've got blockchain, we've got NFTs, we've got the creator economy that the whole NFT space is tapping into. But what could be a couple of really groundbreaking solutions that could grab a huge chunk of the market? And basically, at the start of last year, I decided that I definitely need to build something with my own team, something on kind of our own within the space. And as I had quite an okay background in terms of working with a lot of content creators and brands, I started just tapping into them and being like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? Or let's say, hey, there's this app. How do you feel about it? What are the pitfalls? What are these different things? And basically, over the last year, I and the rest of the team, we ended up gathering a lot of insight on kind of what the creator economy is missing, what the creator economy has done really well, and what are basically the things that people that get people really excited and stick to certain brands and communities.
Mhm.
And yeah, then a bit later, Rome was basically born as an idea. We iterated it a couple of times, again whilst we're still digging the tunnels. And now we've aligned on basically the final product path we're actively building.
Nice.
And yeah, we're very excited to be gearing up for the early release before the end of this year already.
Nice. Okay, so what is wrong? What's like the value proposition of the app?
Yeah, so getting right into the gist of it, Rome is a TikTok for games. So Rome
Okay.
is a game-driven social app that basically will enable every content creator, every brand artist, every person that basically has their own audience or community to build captivating Unreal Engine 5 games in
Mhm.
under 30 minutes. Essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to do with gaming what TikTok and Instagram did with short-form videos. We're trying to introduce a new type of a content into the creator economy and get it adopted by the masses. So essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to enable a bunch of communities and a bunch of content creators to be able to basically more actively engage their communities and provide a lot more value there through gaming, basically through creating a lot of interesting experiences about their brand. Maybe that's a treasure hunt, maybe that's like a first-person shooter. But essentially, yeah, everyone can finally become a game creator, and not only like 2D games or boring games, but actually captivating Unreal Engine 5 games with close to no effort, basically.
Okay, so how does
Almost
that
required.
work? Like, so I have a game and I will create a short version of that game and will distribute it through your platform.
Um, Most of the people that we're trying to tap into that are content creators and brands and
Okay.
artists, they don't necessarily have ever built a game or ever thought about
Okay, okay,
building a
okay.
game. So basically, our app, what we're trying to do with Rome, is more aimed towards the general person that has thought of building a game but's never been able to.
Okay.
So basically, everything you have to do on Rome to build a game is you just have to come up with a prompt, and our generative AI stack that we're building from scratch will turn that prompt into a custom Unreal Engine 5 environment in under half an hour initially.
Okay.
Obviously, as we progress more, it will be quicker. But it's basically just like everything that you need to do is you have to come up with a prompt, and 99% of the work is just done by our backend without having you involved.
That's cool. Okay, so is that like, yeah, kind of the tool that we have seen with AI that like prepare, like for example, like how able to detect what's like the best part of the video that you have and make a short out of it, right?
Um, Basically, somewhat like that. The
Okay.
kind of the better, I guess, allegory we like to use is that you use ChatGPT to
Okay.
write essays for you. The only thing
Mhm.
you need to give ChatGPT to write an essay for you is a title. We're the same, but with games.
Okay.
So the only two things you need to do is you have to describe what sort of a game type it is, and you have to describe sort of the vibe you want the game to have. Whether, let's say, I don't know, let's say whether it's set in a field of flowers,
Mhm.
whether it's set in some sort of an I don't know, ancient world, whether that's just like a stage with a lot of place for spectators to watch the stage. It's all up, basically all up to the content creator, all up to the
Sure.
artist.
Okay, that's a lot of challenge.
Yeah,
That's
it's
hard.
it's it's
That's
very
cool.
fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And so like, so you're a co-founder, but like, are you like a tech guy or like marketing? Like, what's your main capabilities in the project?
Yeah, so basically, my past is very much hiring, firing, training, managing.
Mhm.
I'm currently
Okay.
leading this in the CEO role.
Yeah.
I don't have that much hands-on technical experience, so we have a really great team that's worked with Epic Games, and we have
Nice.
an amazing advisory board from Improbable, TikTok, Epic Games, and a couple and PlayStation as well. So
That's cool.
it's really cool there, and also CEOs and founders of a couple of publicly traded companies. And we'll be basically releasing information about this in a couple of weeks.
Nice. That's cool.
But yeah, basically, I'm just generally kind of setting the overall plan and making sure that it's
Yeah.
executed, I guess.
Yeah. You're
And
making sure.
the way how I have, like to think about this is that I'm basically kind of the chief problem solver. Because obviously we have great tech people that are a lot better in tech than me, like 100 levels better, and we've got great marketing people that are 100 levels better in marketing than me. But there's always those problems that basically you cannot solve on your own, and then that kind of funnel just trickles down to me. I get the problem on the table, and I just kind of take care of it.
Okay, yeah. So your role is like to put like all of the Avengers together, and then they can save the world. That's cool.
Yes, exactly. Make sure they're well fed, make sure they're happy, and yeah.
Hey, like a CEO, it's like a chief excrement officer, right? Like you did all of the shitty jobs to make like your team works perfectly, right? That's the goal.
Well, I guess that's somewhat the perfect definition. Yeah.
That's stupid. Okay, and okay, so the same way like TikTok bring like the audience of content like the content creators and audience at the same time on the platform. This is like basically the main challenge when you launch a new social app. Basically, like you have to have content creators to have an audience, and you have to have an audience for those content creators to like basically post on the app, because like if there's fucking no one on the app, there is no point of creating content for it. So what would be like your blueprint like to launch a social app like that in like your vertical?
Yeah, so I think that just generally the way how you can launch apps, there are different ways of launching apps. I mean, if you have a great personal community, let's say as a founder or a brand builder, you can use that to launch your app. Or let's say if you've been working close in the creator economy, you can use your creator economy connections. But in our case, I guess the approach we're taking is we're very heavily focusing on the supply side. So we're focusing on getting the content creators on board, artists on board, brands, and basically everyone that actually will create the content for people to then consume. The reason, I guess, why we've been able to get a lot of content creators and brands on board, and currently we have signed up content creators and brands with around like 52.8 million plus followers in reach, is because we've kind of really nailed down the value proposition. I mean, if you take a look at the wider creator economy today, social apps have really had close to no innovation for the last 10 years. Every single social app has essentially been a different variation of either text, video, or photo content that the content creator, let's say, comes up with. And then whenever, let's say, his or her followers are online, they see it, but there's really kind of no community interaction. And actually, one of the things that content creators or brands are really struggling with lately is growing a really engaged and brand loyal audience about the brand. So basically really get them excited, whilst in reality, they have no way of actually bringing the people together and making them excited about something in a joint way. And the reason why we're tackling this problem with gaming is because gaming as a content is a lot superior to short form videos in three very impactful ways. So first of all, the average watch time of an average mini game is around 12. The average play time of a mini game is around 12 to 40 times higher than the average watch time of a short form video that you would find on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
At the same time, you obviously you will know this from your past, so by playing a lot of games, and me too, is that if you land yourself in an interesting game where you're all in a specifically branded environment, maybe it's a forest, and you've got, let's say, like a team of snipers or just a team of 10 people, and you're all there with that same common goal of, let's say, either killing the enemy or finding some sort of very specific item, and you've got cool music playing in the background, and you're all joined there for that same common goal, it creates memories and it creates retention. So if you nail a game, you have a lot of people coming back and a lot of people remembering it. On the contrary, right now, TikTok and Instagram, they're flooded of people cutting up, of people posting videos of them cutting up papayas, or people rolling down bottles with different colored liquids down the stairs and seeing when they break. And it's just not something that you can really resonate with. It's fun, but it's not that's going to be something that's going to bring you back to the content creator. And then lastly, games are obviously really good at creating revenue and making people to basically make organic purchases. On the contrary, on TikTok and Instagram, making a purchase is obviously not a part of the average user journey. And just by having this increased brand engagement, brand loyalty, retention, and higher revenue potential, it's just a lot kind of a better content for both the content creator who could capture all of this, but also for the user themselves, because it's more fun, it's more lengthy, it allows you to actually get to know other people and get to know a brand that's created the game, and you might end up with, let's say, some sort of digital wearable, some sort of rare skin for one of your guns, or it's basically just like, I guess, more personal.
Yeah, and like with the audio, like a Web3 audience, it's even make more sense because like again, it's like highly targeted audience, and that can give you even more leverage and like better number than spreading into like the whole world and like a conversion rate of like 2%, like 0.1%. You can get two digit, two-digit conversion because it's highest targeted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And the funny thing is that I mean, Web3, in terms of kind of all the different categories, I guess Web3 NFT communities specifically, they're on average the most kind of joint communities in the sense of how they make decisions. And it's actually quite funny that in Web3 there's still like not a concrete solution for how all these people that, let's say, hold the same NFT or are part of the same limited club, how they still don't have an objectively good way for them to come together and enjoy experiences together. Yeah. Obviously, you've got Twitter, you've got Discord, but none of these platforms actually allow you to come together and take a part in something where you can really interact with other people. And basically, I think the drone could be really interesting for Web3 communities, like specifically because let's imagine, like, for example, we've got Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? I mean, obviously they have the other side. That's a bit of a different story, but let's just use them as an example. I mean, if Bored Ape Yacht Club had, let's say, like a clubhouse land where you had, let's say, 11 different clubhouses that all of the Bored Ape Yacht Club members could basically join at the same time. You could see all the other apes there performing some sort of specific actions. Maybe, like, I don't know, someone's playing pool, someone's playing something else, and you would literally see every single one of those avatars around you, and you can interact with every single one of them. You know, it's just a better way of be a part of a community, to be a part of a community, I guess.
I get that. Like, what's tricky is like, okay, so what if you have your Web3 community, but like everyone is getting busy, they're not full-time Web3, and everyone has a job and stuff like that? Because I can see that, for example, with like the DGOD holders, like a lot of them are just like diehard fan DGOD, and they just wait for they will hold the asset, but like they don't really have the time to spend in activities on Discord server or whatever. They just like rally when they launch some hype project and stuff, like a hype update and stuff like that in the DGOD chat, and that's it. Like, how do you push communities into your games when like a lot of people are just even here for the money and not making friends a bit, but like not that much? How do you jungle between those two problematic?
Yeah, so I guess there are kind of 2 points to answer your question. I mean, the first point is that, I mean, generally speaking, like, I mean, high fidelity games and interesting games have never been something you can actually enjoy throughout all of your day. You kind of have to get back to your computer, get back to your home, turn on your computer, and then you can join the game, right? So you can only do it whilst you're on computer. And I mean, obviously, when making an app, you want to make it as sticky and as high retention as possible. So one of the kind of obvious first decisions was that we don't care how hard it is, but we will make it mobile first. So that's basically one of the answers. So Roam is mobile first. Just a standard App Store or Google Play Store download. And all of the experiences are hosted there without you ever requiring to download additional stuff. So basically, the only download you'll ever make is the actual app, and all the experiences basically just get shown to you as you would, let's say, see new posts on TikTok and Instagram. But answering your second question about kind of the social side of the app. So I mean, there are a couple elements there. I mean, obviously, first of all, if you want to use the app for launching events, you could launch an event and then just make Roam your gathering place. But if we kind of dive a bit deeper into the features, I mean, one of the things you can do is you can follow all your friends on Roam. So whether or not they've created a game, you could basically follow any user. And once you go to your friends tab, you're literally able to see, oh, James is in, I don't know, X game, and Vincent is in EYC game. and you can literally, with a click of a button, join every single one of these users within that game.
Yeah.
Right. At the same time, what you can do is, let's say, for example, it's an early Friday morning. People are commuting or waking up or just having breakfast, and you've gone onto Rome and you found a really interesting game. You can literally, with a click of a button, shoot out a notification to every single one of your friends on the Rome app and be like, "Hey, this is super fun. Come to this game with me. Let's play around for a bit and see what happens." So I guess that's really important, because again, you can like have a lot of games, but it's very important that you're able to participate them together with people you care about.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like a mobile like Steam like notification when like that's the same way, like, because you can see that on Steam too, right? Like when blah 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 is playing like a Vampire Survivor, you can play with him or whatever. I mean, not multiplayer, but that's cool.
It's gonna be, it's basically, you're completely right, but it's, in terms of feeling, it's gonna feel a bit more like an Instagram DM.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, that makes sense. I think, that's like in Web3, if you are able to generate like emotion around the PFP or an app or a project, like then you create again diehard fans, and like they will stick with you like forever, and they will hold their bag no matter what. Which is kind of it's cool, and then you're also part of like a feeling of a community and stuff like that. Which I didn't really understand that before Web3, but it makes so much sense, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's also kind of one of the main thoughts of Pro. I mean, not kind of the. I guess it's kind of one of our main goals, but essentially, like, people are becoming less and less social, especially from the moment COVID started. Everyone's social media app use time has increased, but kind of the socialization side of the social apps kind of has actually kind of gone down. And a byproduct, if Rome does well, is people starting to consume experiences together on a different level. So it's like, instead of, let's say, you just like let's say instead of 100,000 people liking Ariana Grande's picture where she announces a global music tour, you're going into Ariana Grande's music tour lounge treasure hunt, where you're, let's say, able to, I don't know, let's say, pick up 500 flowers, and one of those flowers might have her ticket hidden into that flower.
That's cool.
And you're doing all of that at the same time with hundreds of thousands of other people. You've got Ariana's music blasting in the background, and it's just so fun, and you're doing it together with other people who care, instead of just doing it on your own.
It's like the development of like something like Fortnite, when like they have like the Travis Scott like doing a live show inside Fortnite per se, right? Like it was like huge event, and like that drive a huge hype on Fortnite too, because it was a big event. And if you can do that like 10 times a day with like 100 games, that's a banger, man.
That's true, but the thing about, and again, all respect to Epic Games, they're one of the leading companies out there. We're working with a couple people from their side, not going to reveal anything too much, but I mean, wait, I blanked out. Give me 1 second. I just lost my point. What I was trying to say was that Epic Games is amazing, right? The infrastructure they have is amazing, and the engine they've built, which is Unreal Engine 5, is obviously in my opinion, the most future-proof product in terms of game engines out there. But obviously, Fortnite is an incumbent. Fortnite is a huge company, and it's primarily a first-person shooter, right? Or first or the third-person shooter, right? So the thing with all the experiences hosted with a lot of kind of artists and those sorts of things is there's intrinsically limited interaction you can have there, because what I'm trying to say is the game itself in which these experiences are hosted, which is Fortnite, is limiting the amount of different games you can have there.
Yeah.
Right. Because let's say, it wouldn't ever make sense. I have to come up with some sort of more specific example, I guess. But it wouldn't make sense if, for example, Fortnite had some sort of like a cooking show integrated into it.
Yeah.
Right. Or they're just kind of games that don't go together with first-person shooters, and Fortnite will most probably never integrate them into Fortnite, because it's literally Fortnite, right? The good thing about Rome is that we're kind of just taking that label away, which kind of sticks us to a specific game type. And we're really trying to become kind of the place where you can just go in, play around. Okay, you got this cool game where you chose one of the 50 available game types, and yeah.
Yeah, you're distributing the event or like inside the app and make like social interaction for people to gather around those events.
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially, yeah.
that's cool. I like it. Okay, so again, like the social hubs right now, like there is like massive, not revolution, but like update in like the landscape of like platform. Like for example, again, we feel like Kick trying to acquire like a huge Twitch streamer and then like create a platform for gambling and shit like that. And you also have like Thread that's just trying to copy paste Twitter, and like nobody's going to Thread anymore because
I mean,
there's no one there
you've got Zuck there, so that's cool.
for 2 weeks, for 2 days, 2 hours. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting because okay, so everyone say, oh yeah, I can talk, like I can say what the fuck I want on Twitter, and then like this pain point is not as massive as people vocals on Twitter, like make like Truth Parler or whatever big, or like even Thread, right, which is like less problematic than that. You know, and like it's kind of tricky, like but there is like some attacks on like big monopolistic socials, which is interesting.
Vincent, I'm not sure I completely agree with you there.
Okay.
I personally think that Threads could have been the app that's, I mean, obviously, like,
it's failed, right?
Question is how you measure users, right? The total users, obviously, there's a lot of dead accounts. So let's say monthly active users. I actually strongly believe that Threads could have been up there because, like, the thing with Instagram is that, I mean, most Gen Zers, which is where I've kind of most educated myself about in terms of data, use social media to obviously follow a lot of content creators. That's the primary function. The second function is obviously interact with your friends. And but the thing that you see with the content creators who are on there are basically like basically very curated content, right? Let's say if I, for example, want to upload a very beautiful picture of myself and I'm a content creator, I'm going to get all the lights there. I'm going to get the lighting right. I might send it to one of my agents to kind of do a bit of a like edit splash in there, and I'm going to just really create content is exactly like I want. It doesn't really show the true personality of these content creators, and it doesn't really allow the kind of person that's watching their content to feel like, oh, I actually know the person, Because most content creators don't reply to comments, so you might like a post, you might leave a comment or something, but it's more like a one-way consumption. And I think that what Threads could have really focused on when they launched is you can actually kind of take a deeper look into your favorite content creators' everyday lives. Because you might, let's say, go on Instagram and there's, let's say, like a story where the content creator is showing how they're going into a fashion show, and then there's that same content creator going on Threads and being like, this picture was so funny because this is the backstory, and I accidentally poured wine on Noah Beck and he screamed at me, and here's me running away. Like, it could have been so personal and so interesting. But so actually I'm a bit confused of why it's not really kind of going well, because I mean they did onboard a lot of users. Like they literally had over 100 million users.
Yeah, because it was super easy to sign up, and if you had an Instagram account, you almost like you were one button away from Thread, right? Which is good for the PR in the first week, but like, yeah, then when you lost like 70% of your monthly active user in like 2 days, that's then a problem.
I think that kind of the biggest pitfall here with the content creators exactly was that, and I'm saying this from the kind of the point of view that I actually talked to a lot of content creators and I wanted to get their thoughts on Threads, and most of them got early invites. If you're a content creator with above like 500,000, let's say, Instagram followers, I mean that's very high, but let's say over 100,000, there's a very high chance that one of the Instagram's kind of agents reached out to you and was like, hey, this is early access, test out, see what you think. There was never a lot of guidance for what all these content creators should do with Threads, right? It was like, you've got Threads, it's an Instagram version of Twitter, but there was never information about what is Threads. And there was this there was this very cool game. I forgot the name of the game, but they're basically the way how you kind of got to know the game was that you had an animated figure kind of following around through your. No, wait. Actually, let me rephrase this. There was an animated figure that was a part of your gun, and it always talked to you when you perform certain actions. So let's say when you shot a person under 18 years old in that game, it basically like screamed at you or called you an idiot. And it was just talking to you throughout all the thing, and it was really fun. And they could have done a similar thing with threads where, let's say, out of nowhere, you've got Gwyneth Paltrow just popping at me and being like, hey, I saw that you didn't use this. I think you should give it a go.
Yeah.
Just something more personal, something more gamified. But yeah, this is a very big threads tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of strategy, like, okay, what's also interesting is like what Kick did for against Twitch, right? Like, so they have like infinite amount of money, kind of, and like they are able to spend millions of dollars on like contract for Twitch streamers to jump to Kick, and then also like to have like a fund that can pay content creators. Even like the smallest one, like if you have a small audience, you can get like a minimum income revenue, but if you stream X hours, like a month, blah, blah, blah. Like, is that not like one of the, not the best way, but like the way of like, that can give you like most of the success rate, or let's say, that just spending billions to launch a competitor that went in a market that's a $1 billion industry?
I mean, and correct me if I got your question a bit wrong, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's when you want to bring a lot of people onto your thing, onto your game or product, whatever. It basically there's two ways how you can basically go about it. The first one is you provide people with something new that they've not seen before.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is the case with Kick, because it's a live streaming platform.
Yeah.
And Twitch is a live streaming platform, so there's not a kind of that many I guess unique edges in terms of tech. But the second option of what you can do is just really optimize for what really is out there and just make it more interesting for the content creators and brands. And yeah, I think that's exactly how Kick got a lot of people. I mean, because they're just literally distributing a lot of funds and so on. But I mean, if we think about this objectively, and I hope I've got this right, the Kick was basically founded by the two founders of a like a betting platform, not a betting platform, but online casino, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, the normal person could have never done that, because like you literally need to raise hundreds of millions of funding, and so there's not a lot of platforms are launched in this way, because it's just incredibly hard to earn this much. The only reason why Kick worked is because, I mean, the previous founder's company, which is still very active, was able to get a lot of funds through there, and hence they're able to then be like, hey, we're actually going to make two companies under the holding company. We're going to use the first company's money to onboard users into the second company, and basically get a lot of content creators to get on there as well. Because I mean, there is a large overlay in terms of the content creators that basically were part of the online gambling app and now coming on to Kick, right?
Yeah, 100%. Which is like, it's a cheat code. But like also like Twitch is also owned by Amazon, so that can help to take all of the shares of the market. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if you have that kind of money. I wish that for you. But yeah, that maybe like the kind, again, it's a chicken and egg. Like, it's a marketplace for people, right? Like, you need content creators / games to have content, and you have your user to watch it, and they need to have a ton of engagement. And if you can't, that's gonna be hard. But that's definitely an interesting challenge. And like,
Absolutely.
Can you give us like some hint about like the user experience? Like, do you know anything that you put in the UI or in the UX that's gonna be like, okay, this feature is the banger, that's gonna be dope?
I'd really love to share them with you, but we'd be taking a lot of potentially viral marketing moments away from our marketing plan.
Bro, you get views.
Well, no, but I mean, let me let me say this.
Yeah. Okay.
The way how the kind of the user experience. Okay, talking in normal people language, who don't have to know what UI UX is.
Yeah.
The way how social apps, like let's say Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, the way how they feel, there's a certain standard to it.
Hmm.
It's that there's a certain standard of how you press a button, how the buttons are laid out. There's a certain standard of how you have to lay out video, what kind of the ratios has to be between the video and kind of the background, all these different things. And obviously the way how, I mean, obviously the current solution works, but there's a lot of area in where how in how you can play with, let's say, people pushing buttons, or how you can play with what happens when you swipe something, or what happens when you double, triple, five tap something else. So what I guess what I would say to people who I hope will become Chrome users as well, when you get your hands on the app, play around, not only in the games but also with with just the kind of the general app itself, because it's gonna be fun. And I would love to, but I can't tell you why.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want. Can you send me the beta access of the application, please? But and do you think it's better, like, to follow the like the feeling for the user to use? Okay, I already know this interface because it looks like XYZ, or like create something so different that will increase the friction, but that if it's done well, which is like basically the challenge, people will remember that features, that user experience in the app.
Yeah. So what we've come to is kind of the most known problem in design, which is looks versus usability.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can make a super interesting app, but it's actually unusable because it takes you 500 hours to figure out how to open up a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like I guess what we'll be doing is we're just going to make things that look good look a bit more 2023.
Okay.
And some places where we can allow ourselves to have a bit of fun with making things interesting, but also increasing a bit of friction, we might add some friction that is not only friction, but also gives you a bit of something cool for finding that piece of friction.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, but generally speaking, I mean, we've have I don't know how this happened, but we accidentally leaked one of our first drafts of our feeds UI UX. You can find it on Twitter. It's the first draft, so don't kill us over it. But yeah,
okay.
I guess yeah.
Yeah, I already shared like the. Did I pin it? Yes. So everyone, Rome need a little bit more followers. So yeah, if you are in the chat, click on the Twitter link and please follow them and follow Toms. You also have all of the links in the description. But yeah, find this draft. And okay, so where's what is, oh, shit. I had a superb question, but I forgot about it. Shit. No. Oh yeah. How do you? Okay. Easy.
I hope I can answer it to it.
I hope you will be able to answer it. What's the business model? How do you make like $1 billion recurring revenue first year? What's the business model?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's somewhat okay. That's fine. There are two main revenue streams, I guess, to the whole platform initially. So the biggest revenue stream that we as a platform will have is just transaction fees, right?
Okay.
Because like obviously, if you've got a lot of games that you're playing with your custom avatar or your custom figure or your custom something, you can I mean, you will want to use wearables on it, you will want to enhance various features of it. You know, you might change the avatar itself. There's kind of a lot of areas to play around. Or let's say there might be a content creator who wants to gate their game. Maybe it's like a token gated game. Maybe there's like an entry fee. Maybe there's a subscription fee. Basically, like everything that every single feature, no, every single barrier as a feature that you can basically that you can imagine, right? So obviously there's that's where transactions come in, and we as a platform we take a small transaction fee. That's kind of the first revenue stream. And the second revenue stream we'll have initially is going to be subscription fees. So
Okay.
just to kind of buffer our costs, there's going to be a small subscription fee for every game. Every person who wants to create a game, there will basically be a monthly subscription fee for the first periods of the app, and that's that. So yeah, those are basically like the two main revenue streams. There are a couple others, but they're really not that important and not the main ones.
Okay. And are you going to push NFT collection and like have an SPL token or token on ETH?
So the thing about tokens and tokenomics is that, I mean, you can come up with a lot of things, and they can sound genius.
Yeah.
But the only thing that matters is whether they actually work, right? So the way how we're gonna go about, again, without saying too much about the Web3 elements of Rome, is once we have the early access live, we'll have a lot of things that are gonna appear and disappear. What? There might be a button that comes into your user interface one day and disappears in the evening. There might be a feature that is live for 2 days or 3 days, or there might be a feature that's live for a month. What I'm trying to say is we'll be basically gathering a lot of data and iterating from the data. It's like, essentially what we're doing, we're trying to put gaming into social media consumers' hands. And there's not a lot of, like, there's not that many case studies on this that you can get a lot of very high quality data. So we'll just be testing stuff for that early access period and seeing what people actually want, what people like, what flywheels we can create. Maybe there's something we thought is genius, but actually just screws up everyone's user experience. And the end result is going to be one that's the best for the general amount of users.
Yeah, okay. So you create event inside the app, you can do the action. If you're here, you're good. And if you're not, that's too bad, bro. That's cool.
Yeah, and this is just like not about just the UI UX, but like most of the features there. Because like if you kind of really take a look at Rome from like a product person's point of view, I mean, you've got the apps infrastructure, you've got the generative AI side of things, and you've got the huge backend. Everything else from there is a feature, and everything that's a feature has to be tested and can be either added or removed. So we're just gonna see which feature sets I guess are kind of the most needed, because I mean, obviously this will depend on what content creators and brands from like what parts of the creator economy will get on first, and kind of again, like what are the user behavior patterns that could support a feature or that go against the feature.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Like basically you build your features based on the KPIs that you have. If you see one vertical that works better than the other, you just go for it. That APIs driven company is good.
Yeah, or we figure out why it works there and we try to adopt it to the other ones as well. Because like one thing we don't want to do, and because we don't want to limit game creation to a specific target audience, is we don't want to narrow down on a specific vertical. So also a thing that you will probably see on the early access is content creators and brands coming from a lot of different spaces. And the data we'll get will be very diversified, because like if you start off with a very specific audience, you miss on other audiences' data, and if you narrow down too early, it can encapsulate you in some sense.
Okay,
and we really don't. And whilst obviously we will not start with like 500 different content creator types, we'll start with like a very low amount. We still want to basically put us in a space where we're not basically like only the extension of Twitch streamers or only the extension of live concerts or all these different things. Obviously, we won't be launching everything in one go. That's completely stupid and no one should do that. But we'll just be taking that approach where we're not closing doors.
That's cool. And there's also like a play with like games editor where like they want tools to make their game like easily shareable on the platform too, right?
Yeah, so basically what you're talking about is, let's say you've created a game that's on Unreal Engine 5, let's say, and you want to like copy that game in like a part of that game into your Rome venue. So again, that's a feature. We think it could enable us to get a lot of games on board at the start, which could be quite cool. So that's definitely out there. It's written down. It's written down. It's written down, and I think there already might be a small roadmap for that feature.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
that's cool. Brainstorming live on YouTube. Let's go. We build a business.
You know what you're doing? You're luring out alpha from me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Right. No, you feel good, bro. Like you feel good.
I feel good. Okay.
Because we just throw up ideas and then you say, oh yeah, it's a nice idea, by the way, we're doing it, and then it's validated. Yeah, it's a good idea. See, like we're only doing good ideas here. That's what's happening on the show.
Trying to do good ideas. Trying to do it.
There is no try, there is only do. Is it last year he will get lot? What? How is he moonlighting doing roadside construction? What? I don't understand the question, V. Like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. That's cool. Why I get banned from the server? That's so bad. SL, like, sorry, that's probably because of Jazz. Moonshow, yeah. Erica, welcome on the channel. Like, the Moonshow was pretty cool on yesterday, thanks to VPIF. And yeah, if you have any question for Toms about Rome, just let us know. But quiet. The orange is so bright. Oh yeah, see that.
He's quite right though.
That's they got Bitcoin hoodies. Like,
oh yeah, fair enough. Ordinals,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
But I think I want like a red one, like flashy like that. Decoders. That's gonna be fun. But yeah. Anyway, so. Are you going to produce your own games to like give content to your platform, or it's like not the case? It could be a bad idea. This one could be a bad idea.
Yeah. So everything else that's not directly building out the core platform or enhancing its features is some would say losing focus and just allocating resources where you don't want to go, because like objectively speaking, like we're not in 2021 again, right? Where you could have a 500 person team building out something one person team building out something that sells for $17 million, and you get a Kevin that's hidden in the grass, and you raise 70 million for it, and then you have hundreds of people working on it. We're taking more like we're trying to be quite lean. We're trying to not super overspend on things. We're trying to do necessary things, and I don't know if it would add too much value of us creating an event, because I think there would be more value if we, let's say, just put in that time and that effort and those resources, and let's say got a larger content creator just become a part of Rome, right? Because I mean, we're really here just to make content creators or brands better off, and just to give them another vertical where they can really take advantage of natural human connection and what people like. And that's basically what we're going to be optimizing for.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I like this staying focused lane. That's cool. That's a banger, man. So yeah, like, what's your marketing blueprint for doing a beer market? Like, what are you going to do? Like, like what's the plan for the upcoming months to make Rome like the biggest Twitter account, and then like a project?
Yeah, so to make this the biggest Twitter account, I'd have to ask our marketing team. But basically, to give you like more like a general insight, I mean, the creator economy doesn't do bad in bear markets, right? The creator economy is, I mean, like objectively, like the amount of followers or the amount of watch time you have as a content creator doesn't really correlate with the market.
YouTube channels went from like 10,000 viewers, like for example, Jazzy, he went from 10,000 people live to like 50, 100.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about like exactly the Web3 side of things, then I mean, obviously, but I was just thinking more general, right? So I think that, I mean, we've got a product that people seem to be interested in, and we're actively building it, and I think that this will allow us to just tap into a lot of content creators and brands and really cool things that we are already quite deep in talks with, and some of that we've already signed up. And I think that if we just start quite good in sharing that with the people on Twitter, it should go quite okay.
Nice.
About the Web3 specifically side of things, we have a lot of interesting things coming, but I know that Quentin, who's leading our marketing, is gonna kill me this evening if I share any of it. So I'd rather stay alive, and yeah. But again, like
it's for me, man. Like we live through, like we know each other since forever, man. Like
no,
you can
no,
do
but,
that for me.
but generally speaking, I mean, we as a team, we really like organic stuff.
Yeah.
Organic stuff that just isn't, let's say, like a huge lot of paid marketing or a lot
Yeah.
of paid influencer stuff. You really like organic things, and it's surprising how much great things you can do with organic marketing.
Mm.
So I guess what I can say is that we'll be geared towards organic marketing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And like, do you know how to like, go to the turn on like the growth machine and like, because like for example for me, like I'm a software engineer, like I don't know how to go crazy growth from Monday to Tuesday. I'm more into like building a business that grows slowly but surely, and at the end of the day, it's quite big anyway. I've done that like from 0 to 1 million recurring revenue like multiple times now. But I still don't know how to launch and like you go from 0 to 1 million subscribers or on Twitter account. So do you have like a experience with growth, like crazy growth stuff, or you like same thing building and then it's gonna catch up when it's gonna catch up?
I mean, I cannot really share our internal goals of where we want to go, but that being said, we have quite a clear idea of how we will get there. And I mean, if you take a look at our app, there are certain things that are kind of that have unproportional impact. So the first thing is the quality of the gameplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the games are bad, no one will come if there's not a ton of other people that you can have fun with, right? So first of all, you just have to ensure that the gameplays are actually interesting and they have retention.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is you have to ensure that there's a lot of content and a lot of cool content. So it just means getting a lot of brands and content creators on board. And the hack with that is basically like if you no, I'm not going to share the hack. The third part is that people have to be able to quickly find what they're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like as long as you ensure that you're really focusing on making games fun, that there are games being created and that people can find the games they like, we should. I guess that is the key to turning our growth machine on board. And obviously, then there's features like the way how we market things, and the way how we announce things. All that's cool hacking. But these are kind of the core three product pillars. Because like even if let's say we got like a shout out for Mr. Beast or something like that, right? That could be very cool, but it's not long term. Like you have to build a good product to have people be excited about it. And then when you have people excited about the good product, then you obviously get a lot more kind of back from that.
And I'm not sure you're gonna answer me, but like, do you have any big partnership already locked in?
You have a very nice sweater. What I will say is that okay, now I have to be watching my words. I mean, right now we've signed up content creators and brands with
that's cool.
With 52.8 million total followers combined.
What?
We think that we can 4x that before the early access version is live.
Shit.
And in terms of strategic support, we have recently received confirmation that we are being supported in different ways by a couple of the largest game and now I have to be very careful. Game and internet infrastructure companies out there.
Okay, that's cool. And are you looking for like a YouTube channel that's gonna be quite small, like decent size now, but like gonna be the Web3 channel of tomorrow? Is that interesting?
Of course.
Let's go. That's what's up. I know some friends. But no, that's bro, that's fascinating. Like, yeah, if you're able to close that kind of deals like early on, like pre-launch and pre-everything, that's massive because again, like the whole growth will come from those partnership anyway, right? So yeah, if you are able to do that from
Yeah.
like basically a point, that's cool.
I mean, the fact that it was just from a PowerPoint would be a strong statement.
Fair
But
enough.
but again, like sure, all these things are great, but like for the social app market, what you're saying is really not that true. Because I mean, take a look at Threads.
Mm,
They got 100 million users. The product wasn't that great. I mean, the product was okay, but like it wasn't put to the people in the correct way.
yeah.
Even though they got like all the support there could have been in the world, the app isn't that active right now because the product just wasn't such that people understood what to do with.
Mm,
And the thing is that, I mean, we just have to focus on building a really, really, really cool product. And then there will be a lot of things that can amplify that. But if you just focus on, like, there's a lot of companies out there that are just like, they're going for those like very big hype moments when they're still building the product. And it's, for example, it's really cool. Sure, you got this partnership. Okay, that's really great.
yeah.
But again, like, really, if it's about the product, like the product
Yeah.
has to be great. And if the product sucks, then you're not going to have people coming back. And you don't have people coming back, then you will have no retention. And you have no retention, there's no new users, and everything churns, and Rome dies. So we really, really, really have to keep the focus on product, and then obviously do marketing on the side, but product has to be good.
Yeah, like a good product like speak for itself, and then people will come when you sell a value proposition that like make people proud of using the product or like useful just, and then it's like about referral and stuff. Like, yeah, the playbook is already out there, right? Kind of. Okay, it's kind of easy to say that, but yeah, like,
I mean, objectively, the playbook is out there. It's just sometimes
it's hard
very
to execute on
hard.
it. Yeah.
That's obviously the hardest part, because like you can have 100 ideas, and most people have ideas, but most people just don't build these ideas because they don't necessarily know how to go about it, or let's say they go for them and they kind of churn in the middle. So
exactly.
but the good thing is that, I mean, if you've got a playbook, you know what to do.
Yeah.
And then it's just a question of, can you actually stick to it, and can you execute it? Do you know how to get to that point? And we've got a really, again, like I can't emphasize this enough. We've got a really, really good team that's able to handle all the I guess challenges we'll have to face in our next couple of months roadmap. Our advisory board is amazing, and there's just so much stuff to learn from them every single day. I like to think that we're quite well geared up to make this into something cool that people actually like and use.
Okay, so that's basically your unfair advantage, right? Like it's like the team and like the people that you put all together that will make you a successful project.
No.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you a VC sort of an answer. It's just gonna be very cliche and corporate, but I mean, it's like I mean, you've got to have a really cool idea, right? Yeah. You've got to build it, and you got to have to get users for it. But about the team specifically, and if like either of those things doesn't go well, the thing basically dies, right? But about the team, one of the most important things when you're building a team, this is what I've learned from basically managing teams since the age of 13, is that you have to share the same vision, and you have to share the same culture. And again, culture is very cliche and etc. But it's about those. It's about those things when, let's say, for example, your all week might go, let's say, medium, and then on Friday evening something goes bad. Yeah. And then you have two choices. You can either go home and just be sad about it throughout the weekend, or you can get all of your team members. You can Uber food and be like, "This is so exciting! Yeah, we're now going to solve this in X, Y, Z way, and we're going to have so much fun, and we're going to come up with a better way how to actually build it, and we're going to get there, and then we're going to do it once more, and once more, and once more, and once more." And then when you have basically like a culture that's geared for not detecting bad things but just solving bad things, once you have a really good thing that comes your way, it just feels like the win of a lifetime. And then obviously it goes away, and you get to the second thing. But it's just about being there. It's just about building, and it's just about really enjoying the process.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
100%.
really hope that we'll be able to sustain this in the long run.
Yeah, and you will, because you have Blaze in your team. That's what's up. Yeah.
Well, I really hope so. I really hope so.
He's a deep Roman, so it can be only good. And I see him in like the Twitter space. So yeah, Blaze, we love you. Hope you're doing well traveling. But yeah, he's a good guy. Love him.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
He's fantastic, right, Blaze? But okay, so like, what's your focus for the upcoming months? Like, yeah, what's cool?
Building, just building the product. I mean, we're like the next 3 months are going to be just a lot of building. And on the side,
That's cool.
we'll start basically kind of in a kind of leveled way, sharing with the wider world what we're up to, and we're going to see a lot of cool collabs. We will also see a couple of interesting partnership announcements. We'll also reveal who are the great big backers that basically are trusting us right now and that are helping us to build out the whole thing. And but yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be a lot of building, and I know it doesn't sound exciting, but that's the actual truth. Whatever anyone tells you, it's a lot of product, and everything after the product is kind of the good dressing on top. It has to be good, but the product also has to be very good, and it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like all of the ingredients all together, put together. Yeah, like cool. Living for that shit, man, it's cool. It's exciting.
It's the best thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I cannot imagine myself doing anything but this right now. Like this is really fun. I took a sauna, went to a sauna. Anyways, I was in a sauna a couple of days ago, and I was just kind of reflecting on all the things, and I was looking at myself and being like, hey, what if there wasn't Rome, and we're kind of here at this moment? Would there be what would you do? And literally, I mean, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of companies building. There's a lot of companies building AI stuff that's going to be revolutionary. There's a lot of companies building gaming stuff, and a lot of companies building social stuff. But what I really strongly believe, and what kind of our early partnership talks and client talks seem to indicate, is that we found that really cool angle that could take advantage of most of these things in like a single basket. And right now, it's just our main responsibility is just to make this angle happen and see what happens. And after that, it's going to be different things. But right now, it's just you build the thing, you see if it works. If it doesn't work, you iterate it, and then you just make it happen. And yeah,
that's exciting. Okay, so like, what can we do as like the Decoders community members? Like, how can we help? What can I do for you, bro?
Well, I mean, we'd appreciate a follow. So Rome XYZ, that's our Twitter handle for now. As you see, we're accidentally leaking exciting things and purposely making partnership announcements and similar things. So basically stick to that. That's going to be really exciting. And on my personal Twitter, I'm just if I have an interesting thought, I'm just shooting it out. Maybe just for basically like making my own personal notes for things, just making fun of the space. So you might also check that out if you want some based content. I guess But Rome XYZ right now on Twitter, and we're gonna be launching other channels as well.
That's cool. Okay, and like if you are like content creators, like are you looking for like content creators too? Like, what kind of
course,
content creators?
This is the most important part. I completely forgot about it. How egoistic. Basically, we're very happy to talk to a lot of communities, talk to a lot of content creators. We're actually interested in talking to whoever is interested in coming on Row and hearing their perspective and everything else. And we will right now. I hope our marketing lead can hear me and read space. We will put out a sign-up form where it would be great if any community that's listening, any content creator, any artist, any person that's basically creating something in the creator space could sign up. And what we can basically do from there is we're reserving a list for you on the app for our initial release. And we're very interested in hearing your insights and thoughts about the product roadmap and other things. So yeah, content creators, communities, brands, all people and groups of people from these different communities, please go through the forum. We'll reach out and we'll have you on our app.
Nice. That's cool. I love it, man. And yeah, like we are around the arrow, so like yeah, I will let you. I'll go back building, right? Because that's what we love to do. But yeah,
yes.
Yeah. In the chat, if you have any question again for Toms, just shoot it now because we are like slowly concluding the show. But yeah, bro, like thank you so much for your time. If you have any product announcement, just DM me and you can come back on the channel whenever you want. Post me in premium, whatever, like because now we are BFF, so you can come on this channel whenever you want.
Oh, by the way, yeah. So
yes.
Thank you for having me here. It's really been a great chat. I really enjoyed it, and I'm happy to come back. I will come back before we launch. And about the forum, just answering to the people in the chat.
Yes.
We'll have it live in around 10 minutes on the Rome XYZ account. It's gonna take 10 minutes, but it's gonna be there.
Okay. So yeah, okay. I'm pushing the notification button, and you guys should do it too because you want to fill up the form.
You want to fill out the form. You definitely want to fill out the form. If you don't fill out the form, we'll track down your IP.
Okay. Cool. I'm living in Malta. You can come. It's hot. But yeah, man, thank you so much. And yeah, I think we can like wrap it up the show, right? Did you have any takeaways or any like last thought that you would like to share with your community or anything like that?
I guess there's just like a last personal thought here. If there's an idea that you guys are thinking about, don't think about the idea, test it out. It might turn into something great. So don't sleep on the good ideas you have.
That's cool. Thank you, Sensei. I appreciate that. It's cool, and it's true. It's true. So yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. In the worst case, you're gonna learn, and that's not that's not a bad case.
Yes, exactly. But then, thank you so much, Toms, and yeah, we will see you on the channel like soon enough. Good luck for building the platform. Thanks again to Flash. Oh, he left the Twitter space, probably on the road again, but that's fine.
He's taking care of the form. He's taking care of the form.
Also, that's true. Okay, cool. And yeah, claim your views. Yeah, claim slowly because I didn't fix the application yet. Like the server is going crazy when you're all clicking all together. So claim your views. If the claim fails, wait a little bit. I'm gonna put the video a little bit longer so you can all click and claim your views. But other than that, thank you so much, Toms. And,
by the way, yes. The forum. Jesus Christ, the forum should be live in like 20 seconds.
Okay.
We sped it up.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Should we wait? Okay.
I think we can wait. I think let's wait.
Okay, let's wait.
Let's see how fast our marketing team is.
Which is plays.
Not only plays.
Okay. How many people do you have in your team? Yeah.
Right now we're sitting at not counting the advisory part of things. We're basically 13 people right now. So 1-3.
Oh shit! Okay.
We are actively taking a look at expanding in some specific areas. But it's very tech heavy. It's very tech heavy. It's basically like most of the people are in tech, and then the other kind of parts of the team are basically like two people around there.
That's a lot of developers, bro. Good luck with that. Developers are not easy to manage.
Yeah, thank God we have a great tech lead. Who's also a co-founder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh. The form is not posted, bro.
Form is not posted.
Like, what's happening? Marketing team, please.
Marketing team, please.
No, wait. Maybe you can come back like in 24 hours streams that we're gonna do on Monday because then we can wait together for the next tweet on the Rome on the Rome Twitter account, and that we're gonna last 20
anyway,
hours.
it should be live in like a minute. Oh, by the way,
I'm joking. I'm giving you shit. It's cool.
Oh, by the way, I can shoot the form to you in DMs, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't dropped it in like in the chat.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah, let's definitely do that.
Yes,
Let me open up this word. Yeah, obviously that we should have thought of a bit earlier. Anyways, okay.
It's fun to wait for it. I like it. It's cool. It's content, and people people are having more views, so everyone is happy, man.
Here it is. It's in your Discord.
Discord, okay.
And if you could put it in the YouTube section as
I can do that for you.
It's gonna be in the description and our Twitter account and this chat as well. Everywhere where you look.
Form, boom. I got it. I'm sharing it right now. We are an efficient marketing. Like we are the Rome marketing team B, and like we are efficient too. That's why you're gonna win, man. Okay?
We are fast.
So yeah, if you are interested, like the form is here. We have the form.
Yes.
Fill it up if you're interested, and if you don't, I will do it for the Decoder's community anyway. So yeah, you will hear more about Rome in the next.
And it takes 40 seconds. The form takes 40 seconds if you're okay, and 60 seconds if you're slow. So check out your speed.
I'm pretty sure I can do it in 20 seconds. It's gonna be a challenge.
We'll see.
Okay.
We have the data.
Thank you so much, Toms. And everyone, thank you so much. And by the way, next stream we have the Asset Dash X Decoder's pre-sale. So destruction, be there. I will buy my own supply at 30,000 Asset Dash coins. So be there. It's gonna be cool. Thank you again, Toms. Thank you, Flays. That was cool. And we will see you in the next stream. Bye, everyone.